Alrighty, Team 3DMJers. So, new update for you. About a little over 3 weeks out now until my return to the bodybuilding stage. And the good news is there's no backing out now. I am signed up. Registration has been paid. The tanning has been paid for. The photos and video have been paid for. I'm pretty much locked in. And it's a good thing because in my update to Jeff today, I told him I did that on purpose because right now it's tough. It's tough. I'm kind of dragging myself through the gym. Hunger is high, which I can deal with. That's not a big deal. But the legs are dead, and lethargy is real. But no backing out now. I'm a tightwad, and once I pay for something, I'm gonna follow through. I'm not going to eat it. So today got some training for you, some training clips. Specifically, we're gonna do some back slash lat work, and then we're gonna work the delts as well, or at least what I can do with my delt since I'm still dealing with this shoulder injury a little bit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get that rolling. And then at the very end, we've got some physique video for you so you guys can see where I'm at with my physique about 3 weeks out. And we're going to do that by going over some posing routine practice. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on with the training. Alrighty, gang. So when we last left off, I was at Jeff Albert's house, and we were taking over, or I should say, he was taking over the programming and all of Coach Brad's instructions, right? So while he was busy doing a new athlete setup on a video call, I went ahead and got my training done. So this is that same row machine that Jeff has had for quite a while. He just moved it upstairs. So I did a little farmer's walk, carried a couple plates up there. Usually I do a T-bar row, but I really like this machine. It works well, and I can keep, basically the same loads, the same basic movement, same tempo, basically same everything. Not too worried about loads and repetitions at this point. Just want to make sure I get the effort in there, right? All with things being equal as far as tempo goes, roughly same rep ranges. But like I said, most importantly, getting my sets in and getting that effort in there. So got that done first before he got on his video call, and then did a little farmer's walk, carried the plates back downstairs, and got going in the 3DMJ dungeon, 3DMJ version, I guess 3 now. Got 3 sets of pull downs, used his mag grip here. Back training is going really, really well. I think my back and my lats is really the only part of my physique that I actually like right now. Everything else, I mean, we're our own worst critics, right? And so I don't think that any of us are ever like truly pleased with every part of our physique. Even the elite like Jeff Alberts and Alberto Nunez, they're always picking apart their physique, right? It's just that they can afford the luxury of picking apart less than mortals like myself. So 3 sets here. Like I said, really enjoying these. Really enjoying pushing the effort. Put Brad the powerlifter aside and really focusing on bodybuilding, focusing on tempo, focusing on effort. After we got done with those, we switched to the triceps. So I do 1 set of tricep press downs. Arguably the most boring tricep exercise that there is, but at the same time, I like them. I have always enjoyed doing them. I can push these hard and not have it take a big hit on my recovery. But they are kind of boring, so I'll usually just do 1 set of my, 5 to 7 sets of direct work. And then don't forget, all those presses, they count as tricep work too, or at least that's the way we do it in evidence. Now I do chins, and I do these every Monday and Friday. So every back day, and then every chest day. And really, this is more therapy for my elbows than anything. Just submaximal chins, um, 3, 4 repetitions, and lots of sets. So we'll come back to those there here in a second. Here's another version of a tricep press down. I like these as well. They're arguably, in my opinion, harder than just doing a standing tricep press down. And I like these right now because you get a little bit of a rest when you're doing these standing, and your hands come all the way down towards your abdomen, right? Because the cable is essentially vertical at that point. Whereas laying down like this, most of the resistance is right out in front of you when your arms are abducted away from your body. So I do 2 sets of these, and yeah, like I said, really enjoying these. So a total tricep 3 sets today, 1 standing, 2 supine like this, and then I also train with that cable overhead on a separate day. Then we go on to the biceps. Now, Jeff altered my bicep training a little bit just because my arms are dinky. They look good because of the attachments, and the big peak, but my arms are less than 15 inches. They're like 14 and 7/8. And so we decided we were going to do these 3 days a week. Twice we were going to do preacher curl, just like this. Now, I usually use a machine, but obviously this works well as a replacement for the machine. 3 sets, 2 days, and then on a third day, we're doing hammer curls. So a total of 9 sets of bicep work. It's been a long time since I've done that much direct bicep work. And so far, anyway, knock on wood, the elbows are handling the frequency and the volume just fine. And remember, this is in addition to all the bicep work on rows and pull downs, etc. Right? So get done with the bicep work, and then back to doing more chins. I'll do essentially what amounts to about 6 sets of 3, 6, 7 sets of 3. I mean, not much in terms of back work being done, but I got this from Mark Ripito, and it keeps the medial epicondylitis that I get from low bar squatting at bay, and is a good, it's a good kind of a double whammy. All right, so now we move on to Delt Day, right? And I'm piecing together a few different exercises that I do, but arguably all I can really do now is upright rows and just a lot of variations of upright row. And the way that I'm doing my upright rows, here's a barbell upright row. You can kind of see if you watch that bar path, it's kind of circular in a way. I kind of swing it out in front of me and then bring it into me and resist it, on the way down. So I got 2 angles here for you. This is 2 different phones that I've got. You can tell the one on the right's an older phone, but I try to flick that out like I've told you guys. And then it comes back in toward my body and I resist it on the way back down. So this is my dumbbell upright row. And even with the infraspinatus / possibly supraspinatus strain, I can do copious upright rows in the amount of about 6 to 9 sets every week, doing them just like this, and no real issues with that infraspinatus strain at all. Here's the other side here, just so you can, again, kind of get an idea of how I flick that dumbbell out in front of me just a little bit, but it's too heavy, right? I can't bring it up like a front raise or like a lateral raise. And arguably when I do that, even with a lightweight, it hurts and it aggravates that infraspinatus strain. So I just do this kind of moderate, I guess it's a hybrid version of a front raise and an upright row, right? And with these 2 angles, it kind of gives you a better idea of how I do that. Now, because I can only do upright rows, I'm doing a lot of experimenting. And I found out that I actually like using a kettlebell as the implement better than with the dumbbell. With the kettlebell, it's a smaller implement. And so I can kind of hug that bench that I'm leaning on there. And the kettlebell clears the bench. I'm not clunking the dumbbell, against either myself or the bench. So Here the last couple of weeks, I've been using a kettlebell, and I like it a lot better. It's less clunky. All right, and then the cable upright row, right? This one here, you can just kind of see me. I'm testing things out. I'm kind of pushing on that strain, that infraspinatus strain. But really, to be honest with you, of all the versions of upright row that I'm doing right now, I like this cable the best. I can get that cable positioned behind me a little bit, still flick it forward. Um, and I mean, maybe arguably I'm taking advantage of the stretched portion by putting that behind me. I think the verdict's still out on that, but this is my favorite, as of right now. Then I finished this session off with a little bit more lat work, so I'm hitting the lats still 2 and 3 times a week. Um, and I really enjoy these seated lateral raise. Now, keep in mind, this is before Jeff pulled my post failure partials. You can see these are all failure repetitions, that I'm doing. But Jeff said there's a time and a place for that. And on 1,700 calories a day, arguably, single digit body fat, mid to low single digit body fat. This is not the time or the place for post failure work. So he pulled those, and this was filmed before he pulled those. So here's the posing routine. So playing around with it still just a little bit. And you can see here there's kind of like 2 variations, but I've got it essentially 90% nailed down to how I want to do it. And the music will come at a later date. But a little bit of a physique update, like how the hamstrings are coming in. Back is arguably looking probably the best ever. I mean, that's something that I never thought I would hear myself say at 52 years old. That's kind of like my favorite improvement. Still a crooked back and ugly physique, but nonetheless, I'm just happy that my back looks better, than it arguably has in a long time. So practicing the posing essentially every day. Yeah, I'm lying. I'm not every single day. I was dead dog tired yesterday, and so I didn't practice my posing yesterday. But otherwise, we'll just say 5 days a week, practicing the posing routine. So, I'll be ready when I hit the stage, in about 3 weeks. So, team, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy this. Bye bye now.